Hi, James with Little Shop of Hammocks. Today I'm going to be talking about whoopie slings, basically how to hook them up to your hammock. There's a couple different ways of doing it. The simplest way is just getting right into this. The simplest way is you've got a loop. You can take, just use one of my hammocks here. Simply connect it by some means through the loop to your continuous loop. Okay, so the little eye loop of your whoopie sling, you can do it like that. That's one way. The other way, and you know, it sure has its appeals because it allows you to really customize the length. When you're adjusting your hammock, whether you have a continuous loop or you know, the old style suspension, which is a loop, right? A loop with a knot. You still have a section, well, probably a good 6 to 8 inches of extra connection that you can't really adjust because if you connect onto them, even if you connect from your loop to a webbing suspension with your carabiner, you've still got, you know, a section that you can't really adjust. So there are some advantages to hooking your whoopie sling, which is what I'm going to show you today, directly through the channel of your hammock. And one of the concerns, before we even get into it, one of the concerns is, well, what happens if it rains? I want to keep my suspensions wet, right? One thing to remember is that Amsteel line is basically water resistant. It doesn't absorb a whole lot of moisture relative to, say, nylon or polyester webbing. Those that are wet, you throw it into your hammock's going to get wet. Now with whoopie slings, often all you have to do is just give a quick little, you know, zip down the line, or everybody's got like a little cloth or paper towel. Just give it a whip through, and for the most part, they're fairly dry. So, but moving right along here. So on this one, this is one of my 1.9 ounce hammocks, and I've got Hyper D ones and stuff as well. I've got my continuous loops, and we're actually going to replace this continuous loop with the whoopie sling. All right. So I've got it here. Now this whoopie sling is a little bit longer than some of the others. This is an 8-footer. For the most part, 6 is all you're going to need. But here, let me unhook it. So basically, that's the adjustable loop that gets larger, longer, and shorter. And this is the line that basically adjusts your travel, right? Goes through the berry of your whoopie sling, which does that magical Chinese finger trap trick on the rope. And then you've got your eye loop, right? Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to feed the eye loop through and replace the continuous loop altogether. So I'm going to try my trick. Now this worked before. I'm just going to simply, rather than taking it out and feeding it through by hand, which you can do and it doesn't take a whole lot of effort or time, I'm going to see if this will work again, where I just sort of feed it through. Get it started. So I've got some length and keep some tension. See if I get lucky here. Like I said, if this doesn't work, all you do is you feed that eye loop through. But well, it looks like I've got it. There we go. All right, so continuous loop. So now we've got the eye, and we take the whole thing. So in my case, it's an 8-foot sling. Your case might be an 8, might be a 6, might be a 10. Depends what you have. Take the whole thing, that little eye loop, pass it all through. There you go, and tighten it up. Now you've got a whoopie sling that adjusts all the way to your hammock and basically can shorten it. So it goes to approximately 10 inches all the way up to 6 feet. And That didn't take very long. Works pretty good. Now, I might as well bring this up too while I'm at it, because you're going to be saying, well, what about my suspension? You know what you can do? All your hammocks come in a single, normal little stuff sack. I just happen to have this sitting here, and I brought it out in one of my other videos, but they come in different sizes, and it's a double-ended sack. So what I like about it is that you can take your whole hammock, open up to one side, pull your suspension through, tighten it up, your hammock goes in the bag. Say it's been raining, miserable, your whoopie slings are wet, although they're not that wet, but you want to keep them separate. Tighten up the end of the bag. If you want to wind them up. Little elastic or little piece. Everybody seems to carry a little bit of something. I usually have an elastic around because they're so light. And there you go. Your suspension's on the outside.